Hall of Famer's heart has a special place for Rochester.
This week marks the anniversary of a record that still ranks as one of the most amazing in all of golf. Nancy Lopez won the Wegmans Rochester International in her rookie year, and that win was her 5th consecutive victory. That 5 in a row set an LPGA record that still stands today. Nancy won 4 other times in her first full season as a pro and put the world on notice that this 21-year-old was someone special. And here, behind the 18th green at Locust Hill Country Club, stands yet another testament to the great golfer, a plaque remembering the 5 in a row that has yet to be beaten.
And we're happy to welcome in Nancy Lopez. Thanks for joining us, Nance.
Thank you.
What was that like 20 years ago? What was your mindset first heading into the event?
Well, I was trying to win my 5th in a row when I got here, and I was pretty nervous, but I was excited to maybe, be able to break a record of winning 5 in a row. I played Locust Hill, and it was just a beautiful golf course, and it was really, it was a perfect golf course for my game. It was long, and the greens were fast, and I felt real comfortable when I got here. And on the last day, trying to win my 5th in a row, I was, I think, 2 or 3 shots behind Jane Blaylock. And I was playing real well. I played really well on the front side. And when I made the turn, I knew that I hadn't shot even par on the back side the whole week. So I was like, okay, my goal is to shoot even par. I think if I shoot even par on the back side, I'll win this tournament. And it happened, and I did.
The funny thing I remember from that, well, I read about it, was that what happened to you in the first round, 10th fairway, you hit a guy in the head with a golf ball. Turned out to be a dentist. He was okay. We can laugh about it now. But the funny thing you said about it was that if I would have killed him, I would have quit right there. And I can't even picture the LPGA without a Nancy Lopez. But tell me about that.
Well, it was on Friday because we had dinner. I had dinner with Dr. Messalella the other day, and I couldn't remember what day it was on, but I've been hooking my drive all day long. So my dad always told me just to play with whatever you had going that day. Don't try and correct it because sometimes that messed you up. So I ended up aiming right just a little bit, and the crowds were huge, and I ended up hitting it straight, and it was going right into this crowd. I couldn't even yell "4." I just knew it was going to just hurt somebody. Well, it hit, and it went up into the air about 50 feet, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know I hit somebody in the head. And my caddy was worried about it going out of bounds more than he was worried about the person I hit. So I got up there, and Dr. Messalella was laying on the ground, like this, and he had blood all over the place, and I was shaking, and I was crying, and I said, are you okay? And he had a big smile on his face, like he was glad I hit him. But I felt so bad. I went on double bogeyed that hole, and the only way I could really kind of get myself motivated again was to say, I told my caddy then, I said, if I win this tournament, I'm going to dedicate it to him. Maybe I can get myself psyched up and pumped and get going again. And I did. I played real well the rest of the way, and when I won it, I dedicated to Dr. Messalella.
And the rest is history, they say. Nancy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Nancy knows all about weather delays, and the delay here in Rochester continues, but we'll keep you updated. I'm Linda Cohn. We're going to go back to ESPN News after we take a few minutes for this commercial break.
Well, the rain delay continues at the LPGA Wegmans Rochester International. Coverage on ESPN2. So for those of you watching us on the Deuce, you go and watch yesterday's round, 3rd round action of the Rochester International. For those of you watching us on ESPN News, stay with us. The news continues. I'm Michael Kim. Thanks for watching.
This is what Jenny Lidback has on the par 4 18, her 3rd shot.
The green is sloping from her left to right. She just wants to land it about 6-8 feet left of the pin, short, and let it roll up. Can't put any spin on it out of the rough.
Jenny playing 2 under for the day, 4 off your leader, Rosie Jones, who's in the house with a 64.
Looking back at the 17th tee right now, this par 5, and you want to keep it away from the right-hand side, don't you, Bill?
Absolutely, Mary. This hole playing completely different today. The wind into the player's face. You can hear Julie. She caught it right in the neck, kind of faded it out to the right-hand side. Short of the bunker, so she's just made it a 3-shot hole.
3rd shot by Hollis Stacy on 17.
If she keeps knocking them in like this, she's going to make one sooner or later. Nicely done out of the rough.
Chance for a birdie for Stacy to move to 5 under. Brandy Burton now.
Well, as I've said, she's had a real tough day driving the ball. Bogeyed 16. Needs to birdie here, but this is up the left side. Needs to kick a little to the right. Didn't get it in the left rough.
She hates using it as an excuse, but we always bring it up because, let's face it, it's there, Mary, the injuries that Brandy Burton has suffered.
Well, and let's remember, she came out on the tour when she was 19 years old. She came out, she won several tournaments, hasn't won since 93, but look at this. She's had knee surgery in 84, 87, and 90, jaw surgery in 90, 91, and 97, wrist 92, ribs, bad ribs in 95, and her back is off and on. And you know, I said to her, I said, I call her the bionic woman because she's got a lot of stuff inside of her. She said, I've always been accident prone ever since I was a little girl.
As you look at our leaderboard, Rosie Jones with that comfortable 4-stroke lead after her 3rd round 64, and our Amy Alcott is standing by with Rosie right now.
Rosie, an absolutely stellar round of golf, 64 today. 8 under par. My God, did the Rochester galleries just get you totally fired up?
I think so. I thought everybody was playing this well. And a lot more people started coming over to my group and following us in the backside. So I knew I was doing something special.
Let's take a look and watch now as we head to Jenny Lidback. So Jenny Lidback with a birdie will move to 5. She has the par and stays at 4 under.
Rosie, you seem to play these northern courses. You've won in Corning twice. You won here in 91. You finished second at U.S. Open at Salem Country Club, I remember. These great northern courses. You seem to really play them well. Anything special about the feeling you get up here?
It must be, with the tight fairways and everything, I just, focus on my drives a lot, and I'm hitting those well the last 2 days. And, I just, the bigger these trees get and the older this golf course gets, the better it is for me.
Well, you're certainly a gallery favorite. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it.
The 4th shot by Ava Daloff on par 5-17. What happened there?
Well, I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I think she was trying to hit a little bump and run and just obviously hit it too hard.
Still Ava Daloff in the mix at 4 under, but Rosie Jones, our story on day 3. The par 4-18, the 2nd shot by Hollis Stacy.
145 uphill. And you heard Hollis say, don't kick left, but it's going to drift back down. That just shows you again the slope of the greens. Nice shot, actually, out of the rough.
Hollis checking in at 4 under and a group of 4 at 4 under, 5 back of our leader, Rosie Jones. Ava Daloff taking a turn for the worse, but trying to bounce back after her great drive. Nice little action. Before those two, Laura Dunn, her 2nd shot.
See how that ball's just nestled down ever so slightly, and very hard to get spin on the ball. She has a lot of club head speed, though. She can produce a little bit of spin, but not a lot from this kind of a lie.
Be tough for a birdie for Maura, who's standing at 4 under. As we look at the Solheim Cup point standings, and you can see among those in contention or on their way, Julie Inkster. But look, Michelle McGann, Mary, at number 10 here. She's struggling this year. How did she get so high in these standings?
Well, it's over a 2-year period, Linda.
Okay.
The Solheim Cup takes place every other year, so the points go over. And then what the captain, which will be Judy Rankin, who also works with us here on ESPN2, gets 2 choices besides the top 10. And so she will have captain's picks. And she doesn't have to pick from this list. She can pick from anywhere. But these are the next 11 players. And Rosie Jones, you get points only if you finish, I believe it's in the top 10. So she can vault herself up maybe to 10th place, where Michelle McGann is this week, should she win tomorrow.
And Julie Inkster now on 18, number 7 on that list.
And what a great competitor. She'd be a great part of a Solheim Cup team.
Needs to keep this drive up the left side. This is up the right side. Needs a favorable kick.
The challenge Julie and company will face in the Solheim Cup?
Now, the difference in the European team is they get 5 picks because they only have 8 tournaments in Europe, and most of the players play over here. But look at the players. Annika Sorenstam, Laura Davies, Helen Alfredson, Allison Nicholas, U.S. Open winner last year, Lisa Hackney, who's been playing well. Strong team. It's going to be played at the Memorial, where the men are playing this week, and it'll be in October. Excuse me, Muirfield Village.
And we don't even see Lieselot Neumann on this list, and we know what she's done this year. So that's how strong. I'd vote for her for a captain's pick, wouldn't you?
Well, you might do that. But that, again, that's off the points of playing in Europe.
Laura Dunn from about 20 feet. Very slippery little putt here. Should be pretty straight, but it kind of comes down a little funnel. It should move slightly to her left.
It's really going to get a little bit of a bend in this direction. And that's the beauty of these old greens, just the subtleness of them. You really have to use your imagination. And Amy, that's where you were so great with imagining. You kind of called yourself the artist, and you used to draw pictures with your clubs and your putter.
Was that a was or is?
Well, is. Excuse me. You were not. You were a great artist. You're still a great artist.
Thank you. This for birdie. It's really hard to be aggressive from this side of the green.
I'll tell you, Amy, we hear the gallery loud and clear, the whistles, the call. I mean, there's a lot of action going on there. How do you handle that as a player?
Well, I think the gallery can really spur you on. I think it's what it's really all about. Playing in front of a lot of people, knowing that it's a big tournament, knowing it's everything you've worked for. You have to learn to use it to your advantage. But also, in a way, Linda, really not see the people. I had somebody tell me early in my career, you know, once you see the people and really see them, you're dead. So I think you have to feel the energy and use that to your advantage.
Of course, one of the beauties of you, Amy, and Patty Sheehan and Nancy Lopez is that you played to the crowd as well, and you appreciated the crowd and you let them know.
Well, they flipped the bill, along with many sponsors.
Now, Eva Dahlhoff with very similar putt that we just saw Laura Dunn have. It's going to move in this direction.
Come on, get there.
Gorgeous day here in Rochester. Third round, Wegmans, Rochester International. A moment ago, Hollis Stacy with a shot at a birdie. She tapped that in to stay at 4 under, 5 back of our leader, Rosie Jones. There's Joan Pitcock waiting back in the fairway.
Well, you can see she's had another good drive right up the left side, really in a flat area of the fairway.
Dunn finishing up.
Okay.
Maura Dunn.
Going to have to talk to Joan Pitcock where she got those snazzy socks. We're back up Eva Dahlhoff with her par after the double bogey on 17, around to 74. So the double bogey took a little steam out, but she's still in good position at 2 under for the tournament. Now back with Joan Pitcock.
For Mary, she has 144 yards coming up the hill. A lot of players have left it short of the flag here. Going with a 7-iron. Needs to get up. Pretty good break right there for it to bounce forward off that upslope.
And the other key, Bill, is she's got an uphill putt, so you've got an aggressive putt to make the birdie.
Well, see if Brandy can end on a good note. Finally hit a good drive. Absolutely split the center of the fairway. Has 141 yards. Going with an 8-iron. She needs to catch all of this. Oh, it needs to go. And that's going to filter on down towards the front.
Real disappointment, as you mentioned, Bill, for Brandy today. +6 on the day, +1 for the tournament. Julie Inkster now looking over her second shot.
Kind of a bad break. The ball ended up in the intermediate rough. Ball kicked right. Julie only has 136 yards. Really drew a pretty good lie. Should be able to get a lot of the iron on the ball. Going with an 8-iron. Well, that's a good shot right there.
Julie Inkster hoping to make 18 an advantage for her as she stands at 3 under, 6 back of our leader, Rosie Jones. Today's third round coverage of the LPGA's Wegmans Rochester International has been brought to you by Wegmans, where every day you get our best. By Mercury, the official vehicle of the LPGA and Imagine TV. And by LCI International, the official long-distance provider of the LPGA. Linda Cohn here live from Rochester, site of the Wegmans Rochester International. As you can see by the look of things, we are, in a weather delay. We've had 3 so far during the day. This is supposed to be the final round played. Looks like Kansas from the Wizard of Oz, doesn't it? But this is the situation when and if the golfers do return to the course. Rosie Jones trying to win for the second time here in Rochester. She won earlier in 1991. 44-year-old Hollis Stacy just 2 strokes behind, but as you can see, there's a lot of golf to be played. Of course, we'll be keeping you up to date on what will take place and what the tournament hope will take place, at least the final round, as they hope will. But as we will keep you updated, don't forget, coming up next, as you look at the leaderboard up to date, we're going to get you out to the Scripps Howard National Spelling Bee.